This one might hit a little close to home for you guys, but as your bartender, it's my job to be as honest and as straight with you as I can, so let's loosen the ties and get started. I said this issue would hit close to home, and I meant it. Anybody who spent any amount of time on Twitter, and especially streamer Twitter, has encountered people who are just unfailingly, unflinchingly, unflappably, good alliteration there, positive. Positive in the face of adversity. Positive in the face of setback. Positive in the face of someone being like, look, you're not right. It's toxic positivity. Somebody who OD'd on aphorisms and positive mental thinking and probably read The Secret 9 times. There's nothing wrong with being positive. But there is a problem when you take it too far. Sometimes life has negative consequences, and learning how to adapt to those negative consequences and deal with them is ultimately key to personal growth, success, and let me not downplay this, mental health. This is the image I was talking about. Of course, before we get started on that, credit to Sit With Wit. Link to her both Twitter and Instagram will be underneath as well. I believe she also has a podcast, so I'll find that link and put that there. I want to credit the people who come up with things. Now, we see validation and hope, toxic positivity. So let's go over a few examples. This is hard. You've done hard things before, and I believe in you. It's very hopeful. Hey, it's kind of encouraging. Versus, you'll get over it. Now, they both have places, but you can see one has a definite, more pointed thing like you, as opposed to supportive, hug, bring it in. I know there's a lot could go wrong. What could go right? Just be positive. Well, it's not really helpful. All vibes are welcome here. Good vibes only. It's pretty normal to have some negativity in this situation. Stop being so negative. It's probably pretty hard to be positive right now. I'm putting out good energy in the world to you. Think happy thoughts. So one of the things with validation and hope is an acknowledgement of the problem, as opposed to just, good. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm sure everybody would love to be able to never have problems and never be negative. It would be in a nice world where Shouldville, we'll call it. Everybody loves Shouldville, where everybody has big views and lots of revenue and everyone gets all the sponsorships and wins the games. And Shouldville, it's a great place. We don't live in Shouldville. We live in reality. And as your bartender, it's my job to give you a dose of that in addition to the enjoyment and alcohol. So we look at this, we see the difference between validation and hope. Validation and hope, they acknowledge the problem, validate the person going through it, offer support for the person going through it. Toxic positivity is just like, be good, be happy. That's it. Having gone over the statements and explained validation and hope versus toxic positivity, 2 questions arise. The first is the person being toxically positive doing so intentionally? I think we can apply Hanlon's razor and say no. Hanlon's razor, for those who are unfamiliar, is an internet argument that states, never grant to malice what you can attribute to stupidity, or in this case, being unaware. The person doing it, presenting positive, is usually just positive. But when you take positivity, combine it with a little lack of thought and too much bootstrap attitude, then you can become toxic. Plus, also you have to consider the Pavlovian response. You have friends on Twitter, you have friends on Twitch, you have friends on your streaming platforms and your YouTubes. You see they're in pain. You want to help. How do you help? Feel better, friend. When I have time to talk to you in greater detail, I'll talk to you in greater detail. But right now, I want you to feel better. Good vibes. Good vibes. And that doesn't come from a place of anger or malice. That comes from a place of, I want my friend is injured. I want my friend to be good. The second question is much harder. How do I tell people, or how do I deal with people who are being toxically positive? Now, depending on the person, a lot of things could happen. You could have somebody snap at you. You could have somebody cry. You could have somebody argue with you like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You could have somebody neutrally react and just fade away. What I like to do is this. Let's say I'm talking with somebody who's a friend and they're being toxically positive. I need help with an issue. Instead of having them out in the ephemeral, and this is the gesture for ephemeral, I ask them, how would you proceed? Tell me how you would proceed. So we take what is out in the ether and ground it in the concrete. It's like, I need specific help with step 1 of the problem. Well, how do I get started? What do I do? What pitfalls are along the way? And what is it going to look like when I'm done? And by doing that, they go from being, you can do it, positive, to, oh, Okay, I've engaged the rational part of the mind. Let's figure this out. I can then thank them for the help of the plan. I can implement it if it's good, or we can critique it. But even if we're critiquing it back and forth, that's still the rational mind. That's out of the ephemeral and into the concrete. That's the best way I've found to deal with it. Because if you come out right and say, like, you're being toxically positive, well, that's accusatorial. And most people don't react to finger in the face. Think about it. I put a finger in the face, you're like, Nim, don't do that. It's bad. Have you guys dealt with any toxically positive people? If so, let me know in the comments below. I'm actually kind of interested in seeing how your strategies work because, again, there's no one-size-fit-all. As always, the links to the live streaming, which I do on Twitch, Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're below, as well as Instagram, Twitter, and all the other social media nonsense. So I hope everybody has a pleasant evening. Now get out of here. I gotta clean up the bar from last night.